That's right, it's officially January 24th, and today is the day that Playmates has revealed the lineup for their new line of Star Trek action figures. I can't believe this is really happening. This is going to be great. So as of recording right now, it is 7:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have somehow, someway completely ignored all spoilers for what this new toy line entails, and we're gonna do a blind look. Like, I don't know what's involved. Now, we've seen the previews of just kind of like the teasers. So we've been able to disseminate at the very least 6 figures so far, that being Data, Picard from the Picard series, and I have to assume that the Data is also from that Picard series too, but I don't know for certain. We've also can see that there's Michael Burnham and Saru, as well as Spock and Pike, all Discovery based. So it doesn't look like we're getting anything yet for Strange New Worlds, but we'll probably get to that later. But they could just be just like, oh no, these were just like prototypes. Here they are in like the Strange New Worlds uniforms that you'll see in May. I don't know what's going on. I am so excited. We are going to look at this live. Literal reactions. So here I am on StarTrek.com, and as we can see, front page news, Playmates Toys unveils their latest Star Trek Universe collection, exclusive first looks inside. Now we're going to hit this little button here, and we're gonna take a look. And hopefully I won't blow the levels out on my microphone, because I am already over the moon for this. Let's go take a look. All right, so we're starting with the teaser image that we've seen for quite some time now. Well, let's read the press. Red alert, Playmates Toys has returned with an all-new Star Trek Universe collection. The first figures and toys will be available to fans this summer. So they're coming this year. I thought we wouldn't see them till the end of the year. We're getting them way earlier than that. In a collection of retro figures from the most popular Star Trek television shows and films. That sounds like 4.5 scale to me. As well as the latest hit series on Paramount Plus. The 5-inch 1:1 14th scale will feature extraordinary attention to detail Playmates is known for, each with 14 points of articulation and packaged in either 1990s nostalgic packaging or newly designed Star Trek Universe blister cards, depending on the character. So we're going to get packaging that could look like this, depending on, so that implies that we're going to get not just the new stuff, we're getting the old stuff too. Oh, okay. All right, so 14 points of articulation. All right, so let me grab a random figure here. Okay, so we got Janeway. So if we look off of what we have with Janeway, which is from the later line with Voyager, so I would kind of imagine this might be the jumping off point. So we've got head swivel, that's 1. Arms, that's 3. Arm joints, that's 5. Elbow, that's 7. Waist is 8. 9, 10 for the legs, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're looking at the later iterations of the Playmates figures. So we're going to get, so it sounds like we're gonna get the swivel joint at the legs, which is a good thing. Now the big question is, are they going to keep this classic V-shaped waist that is kind of the bane / signature for the Playmates line? I don't know. All right, so let's keep reading. First wave of Star Trek Universe collections will be available online July 2022, and in stores this fall. Additional figures and accessories scheduled for release in early 2023 will be announced later this year. Now, I think this is going to be the announcement that they were going to make at Toy Fair in the Toy Fair 2022 convention, which has basically been canceled at this point. This is I think the announcement they were going to have, and I think they were going to have probably like the prototypes out there. So, okay, so it looks like we've got a so right off the bat, holy cow. Right off the bat, we are getting Wrath of Khan figures. We are getting, wow, look at those. So these are probably going to be more like what we've seen with, these look like these are more in line with maybe what Star Wars has done with their 3 and 3, like the standard Star Wars size, where now there's like more articulation, but there's just better Okay, so I have like a million things going through my head right now, so I'm probably not making a whole lot of sense. All right, so let's calm down. Calm down. So what we have here is a Wrath of Khan set of 3 figures. Khan himself, Captain James T. Kirk, Captain Spock. Oh no, I'm sorry, Admiral James T. Kirk and Captain Spock. I mean, first of all, we're setting things right, and we're getting the maroon movie uniforms, and we're actually getting Spock in that. That's pretty dope. I like that. This Khan, I don't know how I feel about the waist. There's a part of me that's a little... I really want to see what the articulation looks like, especially since it looks like it's going to suffer from the same problem that the... as I open just a drawer full of random Star Trek action figures. And of course I don't have... Well, I have a Savick. So we can kind of see like what I'm talking about on here. So it looks like we're going to run into that same problem that we had with the original line, where the dress uniform, and I was kind of hoping they might avoid this by building this into the mold, where the character's legs won't really bend the way that they're supposed to, even though they totally could if the mold was just a little bit less hard plastic and just maybe a little bit more rubbery. I also find it very interesting that the hands are more just like there's no grip to the hands. I find that very, very interesting. But I can say, just looking at this one photo, I think the likeness of Ricardo Montalban is great. This doesn't look like it's the most high-res photo. And I think both Kirk and Spock look a little young. That looks more like Nimoy from the original series and not Wrath of Khan. I would want to see them look, I mean, the whole point of the movie is, it's dealing with age. That's kind of like the subtext of the movie. Well, subtext, it's the actual text of the goddamn movie. But that's a really strong start for this to be the first picture that I see, and getting like wish list stuff fulfilled right off the bat. Then that's going to, and like with these bodies, that's a mold right there that they can use for the rest of the TOS crew movie bodies. I like that's good. Like that's really good. I'm really looking forward to that. So if we count articulation, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So waist will be 6, 7, 8 for the legs, 9, 10. at the knees. I don't see anything at the, or maybe I do, and I just can't see it because the picture isn't super high res, but I don't see it on there. So maybe it's the hands. Maybe the hands have that additional art. I think it's gotta be the hands. The hands have to be that additional articulation point, and then I also have to assume the feet as well. Okay, wow, I mean, okay, strong showing right off the bat. I mean, and it makes sense too. Okay, so, because, you know, like, I have to imagine for this first wave, not even know if we'd get older figures, just for that first wave, it was going to always be the new shows. It would have to be. Like, they're the shows that are out now. They're the shows that are popular. Those are the shows that are in the zeitgeist, in the common knowledge of the general public. Those of us like me, you know, who are fans of the toy line, the Playmates 90s toy line, you know, like I'm sure a lot of people that are only looking for that were going to be potentially disappointed by it only being the new figures, since so many people have issues with the new shows, and that's a whole other thing to consider. But it looks like they're going to strike with old and new. I wonder, so it says that these will be available in nostalgic packaging. So I have to imagine that they're going to look like the classic Trek movie line that we got, that had the motion picture Kirk and Spock and Sulu, but it also had General Chang and Khan and Savick and Amon's character, whose name escapes me at the moment, and Krug from Star Trek 3. I gotta say, I really gotta say, these look more like the Asylum Arts Diamond Select figures, just scaled down to an appropriate height, not that weird 7-inch line. Okay, first wave out, looks good. So this is the second of 6 photos. So we've got 4 more to look at. So let's scroll down and see what we get. Oh man. Okay, these are interesting. So it's Riker, Picard, and Data in the next gen uniforms. I'm not crazy about these. I have to assume we're going off of prototypes. That Riker looks horrible. Will does not, like, that looks, Will's nose is so piggish. If you told me that was like a Tellarite, I might believe you. Okay. All right. Well, continuing on Will Riker never having a good action figure might be a legitimate thing. Now I wonder, now it looks like we have different body molds here. The Picard looks different than Riker and Data. Again, that Data head, that looks like, it looks too angelic and too, like, these look too young. Like they look too young to really hit an accurate likeness. The Picard one, I think, is the best of the 3 here. So let me see here. We've got neck, arm. The articulation points have to be at the hands. And okay, and it looks like they're using the same body parts for all of them, which I guess makes sense. Like, I was hoping that the Picard might actually have the, like, engage built into the hand gesture. Okay, all right. So possibly 2 body molds, because it definitely looks like Will is more broad than Picard and Data. So Picard and Data might be sharing a body, but the arms and the hands all look the same. Legs are different too. the Will Riker is definitely different. So I have to assume there's going to be some variation on the scale, which would be nice. Like, especially with like Worf. I would like it if Worf was just taller than everybody. Boy, do I not like the look on Will Riker's face. Wow, does that look bad. That looks bad. It looks, his cheeks look too rosy. He looks more like a hobbit. And Data looks like what are those dolls? Those like ceramic dolls that like your grandmother would have like a whole bunch of, where it's just like, I don't know, like a male and a female little kid doing like, you know, like at a fishing hole or sliding down a snow hill or something like that. Whatever those are, those look like. Okay, all right. The Picard looks great. The Picard looks great. I wonder if they're going to reuse that head for the modern Picard figure and not maybe like age it up a little bit. Picard, Riker, Data. I think I would have preferred Picard, Worf, and Data. But the nice thing about this is that, like, all right, clearly we're going to at the very least get the 7 main cast members eventually. All right. Okay. Next, scrolling down are the 2 Discovery figures. We've got Saru and Michael Burnham, and I love these figures. These look great. The Saru looks spot on. Michael Burnham looks spot on. Those look like those walked right out of the 1990s. Those look, with the exception of the waist, those look like those could have walked out right out of the 1990s line. I really dig those. I love how look. You can see clearly that the scaling on Saru is different, which he would need to be. He would need to be taller than everybody in the line. So these will be available in the new universe packaging. I wonder what that's going to look like. These are great. I really dig these. I like the little, like the feet of Saru being kind of up on that like heel, so that he can walk on the on his toes rather than on the balls of his feet. I love the look. I love the look of both of these. This is what I would have hoped for and more. Big fan. And I like one of the nice things about the things I've always liked about the seasons 1 and 2 Discovery figures was that the rank colors, like the gold and the white and the silver, were actually made up of Starfleet insignias, Delta shields, and it looks like they've tried to replicate that in the ribbing on the sides of the uniform. That's a nice little touch. I like those figures. Those look really nice. Next up. Oh shit! We're getting a vehicle! It's an original series Enterprise. Right on. 18-inch scale, includes lights, sounds, phrases, available in nostalgic packaging. That makes perfect sense to me. It makes pitch perfect sense to me that you would include that. To go with a vehicle, yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense to me. And if you're gonna make it a vehicle, make it the one that everybody's going to want. Like, the only other thing that I think you could probably make a case for was to do a Enterprise D or a Discovery. I love the way that ship looks. I think with just the way that LED technology has come in the last couple of years, molding technology too, like that looks right there. Wouldn't it be boss if like you could see like lights inside the ship for like reports and things like that? Oh, that's really nice. This is nice. It comes with a nice little stand as well, and I am absolutely going to buy that. That looks beautiful. I love that a lot, and you know, it's the original Enterprise. I still think that's the best looking starship in all of Star Trek. You just can't top that. Next up is an original series phaser. So this is complete with lights and sounds, available in nostalgic packaging. So this looks really no different than the phasers that they would have had in the Classics line. So we can kind of assume that there will probably be a tricorder communicator later on in the future. And so that's it for this original announcement. So it looks like, so now that's interesting, because they teased Picard. All right, so let's jump into, let's see, that's not what I want. So let's jump onto twitter.com. All right, so that's just a link to share it. So let's try this. Instagram.com. And we're going to look up Playmates Toys. And let's see if they have anything else here. So here we have, okay, so that is the same. So we've got Ranker, Through, Phaser. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that when they say that the first wave will be available in July, so it's probably going to be these 8 figures. This is the first wave. Additional figures and accessories scheduled for release early. So that will probably be Picard, and that will probably be the either Discovery or Strange New Worlds versions of Pike and Spock. Holy cow. We're here, kids. This is it. Like, that beautiful line of the 7 years that Playmates had the license to Star Trek, they were able to knock out some absolutely outstanding figures. It is going to be and will, unless it is going to be and remain the best Star Trek line that we will ever see, unless this Playmates line does really well and is able to, you know, stay vibrant for as long as Star Trek's on. And from the looks of it, we're going to have Star Trek on TV for a very long time going forward. Now, the other thing that I'm looking at here, let me see if I can pull this up. Star Trek. Let me actually spell Star Trek right. Star Trek 2009 toys. So one of the first things that I thought about, let's go to an image search. There we go. So here's tradition. So here's the line from 2009. So we're going to compare that to the line from 2000. And these look like... So one of my biggest complaints about... this isn't the first time Playmates got the license back, but they really kind of dropped the ball big time with the 2009 J.J. Abrams movie, where these figures just... they weren't good at all. I mean, it looks like their uniforms are made out of chainmail, not... I don't know. Not a big fan of those. But it looks like they may have learned a little bit and found kind of like a happy medium. Because the other thing that also threw me off with a lot of these was just how disproportionate the limbs were. So it looks like we're molding the two lines together so that the classic line merges with the 2009 line, which it may be a dangerous thing to say. I could just be assuming that, but I think maybe they learned their lesson from that. Because like the one thing that I will give that line is that it at least had articulation and it gave us a leg joint that actually works. Again, like part of like that thing with like the original line is just like that V-waist. Unless you want to pose your figures like they're spread eagle when they're sitting down at like a console. This was the one of the few good things that I could actually say about the 2009 line, giving us a U-joint. So this looks to be like, this actually looks more reminiscent of what old G.I. Joe figures used to look like. Or even He-Man, where it looks like there's probably, and don't think that like we're not going to start customizing this shit as soon as humanly possible. I really want to see what the joint looks like on these. It's probably some sort of ball joint. Probably no dissimilar to what we see on Marvel Legends figures. I'm all right. So let me just double. I'm just gonna double check. These have to be it. This has to be it for the announcement. Because if they're not on, I just want to make sure that like there's nothing else. Star Trek Playmates 2022. Playmates retail initial lineup. Let's see what we got here. So yeah, it looks like this looks like this is what we're going to expect in July of this year. Online, first wave next gen, Data, Picard, Riker, first wave TOS movies, Spock, Kirk, and Khan, first wave Discovery, Michael Burnham and Saru, plus the Enterprise ship, plus the phaser. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 figures, 2 accessories. I'm really excited. This is kind of crazy, you know? Like, one, I never thought the Playmates would get the license back. 2, it looks like they're gonna go hard and really give us a lot as they roll things out. And they're striking hard with, some of the best known characters in Star Trek. The old figures, the old characters from TOS, specifically the movies. I might even argue that people know the movies, but Wrath of Khan specifically more than a lot of people might know. The casual fan might know the original series. And then with Next Gen, I mean, who doesn't know Next Gen? Like people at the very least know Picard and Data. Riker, whatever. And then Discovery is like, it's the flagship show right now. Like that's what's driving Star Trek right now is Discovery. Wow, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what these are going to look like in my hand, and we'll only have to wait 5 months to actually get a hold of these. Boy, this is going to be. This is. I'm really excited. I am very excited for this. Super excited. Oh, baby. Who would have thought that we would be seeing this year? Not in my wildest dreams did I ever think that we might get quality Star Trek toys again. Like, I was content to just customize figures and fill in my gaps for the rest of my life. Look, even if these figures aren't for you, even if you don't like Discovery, pick up the figures. Because you know what's actually going to actually get more figures made? If these figures sell first. I don't want to wade into the, what is Star Trek war, because I have opinions that I will talk about in the very near future. But if you want to see more figures later on down the line, you got to start buying these figures now. So hit up your local toy store. I know that I'm going to reach out to the good people down at Farpoint and the good people over at Play With This, my 2 local toy stores, and see how soon I can get my cold hard cash down to pre-order some of these and get them in my hands as soon as possible. So there we go. Can you believe it? The first good news we've had this year. It only took a month to get there, but we actually have new Star Trek toys coming. And for me, that's one of the little things that you could really hope for. And I'm gonna look forward to having these on my desk next to all the classic figures that I have too. So thank you so much for watching. It's been wonderful seeing all your smiling faces here today. Can you tell me what you want to see from Star Trek and Playmates later on down the line? Sound off down below in the comments, and while you're down there, like this video, give the channel a subscribe, ring the bell for future notifications, and share the hell out of this video. I was so excited about getting in front of the camera, I didn't even bother to put on makeup on. I didn't even bother to shave. I've got a 5 o'clock shadow right now. That's how excited I am about this. I literally walked in the door from work and grabbed dinner and then just sat down and just started looking at this. I am so excited. I hope you are too. I've been your favorite former twink.